Yup. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another podcast of the TCF, the Casual Fan Show, the show where sometimes I know what I'm talking about, and sometimes I don't. Is someone cutting onions in here? Because this is the first NFL takeaway video of the season. I've been dragging all weeks long about it. I always wanted to do an NFL Week 1 takeaway video, Week 2, Week 3, but it took me until Week 7. With that being said, since I'm doing an NFL Week 7 takeaway video, I'm going to be doing an NFL Week 8 prediction video, which is amazing. That's like one of my favorite things to do on this channel is predict teams' schedules from week to week. So, man, that gets the juices flowing for me because I just love doing this so much, and I cannot wait to bring back one of my favorite things to do on this channel, which is that. Also, thank you guys so much for 6,000 subscribers. Again, 6,000 subscribers. To be able to say that is insane. The growth on this channel has been absolutely, immeasurable to me. Just literally last video, I was celebrating 5,000 subscribers, and now I'm making this video, and it's 6,000. Like, bro, before we know it, 10K is going to be around. And that's insane. Dude, if we can hit 10K by the end of the year, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something crazy. But hey, you know what? I'm going to lock in before I tweak out, and, what's that sound?
Chase Davis on the beat. Yeah. Put that shit on. Put that shit on.
That's right. This shirt is out, and guess who bought it? I did. So the next podcast and YouTube video I'm doing, I'm showing up in style. I'm going to be decked out wearing the Boomin' merch. You already know what it is, folks. So I'm kind of a tacky guy. I like keeping my NFL predictions. I actually keep it on this sheet of paper week by week. I'm coming off of a 10-4 record this past week 7 predicting all the NFL games. My season record right now is currently standing at, I'm looking at a 67-41 season record with my NFL predictions. You guys have to let me know if that's good or not. I don't know. This season has been mad bipolar with the games. The better teams have not been winning these NFL games. The NFL is extremely upside down this year with, the Jets and the Giants being on top. That just feels so weird to say that. So, yeah, last year, I believe I predicted 150 games correctly. But this season, I don't know if I'm on that pace or not. But let's just hope that we can beat last year's record. And let's break down these week's games. First things first, we were looking at Saints versus Cardinals. Was a very, very high-scoring game. 34-42. I predicted the Cardinals to win, and I got the game right. Andy Dalton played absolute dog water. The man threw a couple pick sixes, and the classic meme came out of it whenever the guy was doing a flip in the end zone while Andy Dalton was just looking off in the distance and just saying, what is life right now? But the Saints right now with a 2-5 record, it looks pretty rough for them, and they really need a lot to be saved at this point of the season. But at the same time, the NFC South does look very weak, so they aren't too far away from competing for the division. I don't think anybody likes Cliff Kingsbury either way as a coach, not Kyler Murray, not anyone on that staff. I don't think if the Cardinals miss the playoffs this year, Cliff Kingsbury is 100% getting fired. DeAndre Hopkins was back, so he's saving my fantasy team right now. I'm 6-1 in this one league. I wish I made a fantasy football league with you guys, but I'm going to make a fantasy football league next year. All right? Speaking of fantasy, I started off 0-1 in our fantasy basketball league with all you guys that I made it with. Hopefully I could bounce back, but hey, that league's looking very competitive, so I'm very excited to see how it goes. Next up, we got the Browns versus Ravens. I predicted this game right as well. I thought the Ravens were going to win this game. Now, the thing is, the Browns have a very stacked roster from top to bottom, and it's all about how much can they hang on to a 500 record until Deshaun Watson comes back. Now, it's not looking super bright. They've had a very tough schedule so far in their season, and also taking crucial losses to teams like the Falcons. But, hey, the Ravens got this much needed win. Now they stay on top of the AFC North, and they actually finally didn't choke a lead for once. So, Ravens, good job. This game right here between the Buccaneers and the Panthers might have been the biggest WTF game that I've seen this week. It was my co-host Nick's Lock of the Week on my Lock of the Week show that I do at school. He's 2-5 with his season Lock of the Weeks throughout 7 games. I'm 4-3. And I actually lost my Lock of the Week this week. I'm going to get into my Lock of the Week later in the video. Like, how do not even score a touchdown against the Carolina Panthers. An F grade for the Buccaneers. But anyways, let's move to the next team. The Falcons versus the Bengals. I predicted the Bengals to win this game. Super, super high scoring game for them. Jamar Chase was balling out. You love to see it from the Bengals. It looks like they're finally getting their stuff together, and it looks like Joe Burrow is kind of taking a step, and who knows, maybe even a top 5 quarterback this year. You guys let me know. Lions versus Cowboys is a very interesting game because not only does Dak Prescott continue to own the Lions, and he's never lost to the Lions yet in his career, but the thing is that the Lions just are a sad organization. I was high on the Lions, and I'm still kind of high on the Lions, but this game made me realize that, hey, no matter how much young talent, firepower they have, whatever, they're still going to be the same old Lions, and it sucks to see that, but it's just the way that it goes. Giants versus Jaguars was very interesting. The Giants keep on getting sloppy wins. That's the kind of team that the Giants are. If you end up hanging around until the end of the game to hope to get a win against the New York Giants, you're probably not going to get a win because I think that's the kind of team that they are this season. I think the Giants might actually have a very good chance of making the playoffs, which is obvious to some people and very hard to believe to some other people, which is pretty hard to believe to me that I'm actually saying that the Giants might actually make the playoffs this year. But they might actually make the playoffs this year, and they might even be a dangerous team in the playoffs this year because they have ways to win. Now for my lock of the week that I wanted to get into, that I said I was going to get into, that I don't want to get into, the Packers versus the Commanders. I mean, this just describes the whole game. I already did like a little small recap, like a little short about it. I said what needed to be said. I'm not really going to say anything else, but screw the Packers. We suck. Just embarrassing. That's all I got to say. But anyways, let's move on to the Colts and the Titans. I predicted this game wrong. I somehow thought that the Colts were going to win this game, but I finally learned after this game, the Colts officially suck. Stop betting money on the Colts. So, yeah, the Titans won this game. The Titans are going to pretty much win their division from here on out, and there's also some pretty crazy news that apparently Sam Ehlinger is going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season, and Matt Ryan is just not going to be him. So, another year, another Titans winning their division. Texans versus Raiders was interesting. I didn't pay attention to this game at all, but Josh Jacobs can clearly be an offensive player of the year candidate after this game right here. Kid is single-handedly carrying the Raiders offense. If there's ever a scenario where Derek Carr just doesn't show up, they got Josh Jacobs to rely on, and he has proven himself as that guy. Then we move on to the Jets versus the Broncos. Same thing that I said for the Jets and the Giants. The Jets just find ways to win. In the ugliest ways possible or in the non-ugliest ways possible, they find ways to win, and that's honestly all that matters at the end of the day. As for the Broncos, I'm sorry, but Nathaniel Hackett, you are now on the biggest and most hottest seats in the NFL. Nathaniel Hackett, with this loss that you took against the Jets this past Sunday, and if you lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars next week, hot take, you will be fired. So watch out for that. Some people are overreacting whenever they take a look at the Chiefs versus 49ers game. I already thought that the Chiefs were going to win this game, but I don't think this changes anything for the 49ers. I think they are still contenders, not Super Bowl contenders, but contenders, and I think that they're still a very dangerous team. If you're a 49ers fan, don't panic, but panic with Jimmy Garoppolo, because Jimmy Garoppolo is still Jimmy Garoppolo at the end of the day, and nothing that Jimmy Garoppolo does will ever change my mind about how I feel about him. He's never going to improve. He's never going to decline. He's always going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Sometimes playing good, sometimes playing bad. Just an overall game manager. Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo, you know? But that's who you have to concern yourself about. Christian McCaffrey is going to fit in the scheme. But you just played the best team in football, in my opinion, this past Sunday in the Chiefs. And you guys just weren't really settled in with all these new players coming back. Christian McCaffrey being added to your roster. Now, let's say these two teams meet in the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a much closer game. And, yeah, you'll be fine, 49ers. Seahawks versus Chargers, I think it's time. We should probably start actually considering the Seahawks being legit. Like, a legit, playoff team with Geno Smith after this win. I predicted the Seahawks winning this game because I actually decided to stop sleeping on Geno Smith. And look at this. They came on the road against the Chargers and won that game, 37-23. The Chargers, you guys got a lot of injuries, and you guys need to be back. J.C. Jackson has not been working out for you guys. But it's all about scheme, and it's all about Justin Herbert stepping up. But the Chargers, you guys need to step up. And as for the Seahawks, A-plus win for you guys. Heading into the Sunday Night Football game, I picked the Dolphins over the Steelers, and they took that win 16-10. Tua's first game back overall. The defense played absolutely amazing. Offense didn't play incredible, but they did what they needed to do. And then the Steelers, I don't know about the Steelers, man. You kind of really need this win, and you didn't get it. Overall, let's head into the Monday Night Football game, the Bears versus the Patriots. Okay, I said this today on the radio show. I'm going to say it again. The Chicago Bears right now and this past Monday have played their best football that I've seen them play in the past 3 years. Simple as that. They've peaked. This past Sunday, they've peaked. This was just a 1 week kind of wonder win. I'm sorry if I sound like a hater, but it's just kind of the fact of the matter. And I don't think that, you guys get better than this. Marching into Gillette Stadium, beating the greatest coach of all time in primetime. Great win for you guys. Hats off. Hats off to you guys. I will dab you guys up. You know what? Great win. But you guys peaked. As for the Patriots, just keep on rolling with Mac Jones. There you go. Yeah, and those are my Week 7 takeaways, boys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, thank you guys so much for 6,000 subscribers. Still feels unreal to me. 7,000, right around the corner, fellas. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which is going to be my Week 8 predictions.
Yeah, swerving in the IA. Yeah, I don't hesitate. Got a lot on my plate. Oh, yeah, we eatin'. Hottest out in the region. Make a hit, repeat it. I do this shit for a reason.